Michael Hernandez here of MLH Media, and we are here today on the road to A1 Combat 22. And I'm here with the main event, one half of the main event over there for the Hard Rock Sacramento on July 20th, Mr. Jason Butcher. How you doing, my man?
What up? We're in here.
How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, actually. Yeah, I feel great. Training's been incredible. I mean, like you said there a minute ago, it has been kind of a long time in the making, but I've been preparing for it every time. So I've been ready to go since like January, man.
Yeah, can you give the fans, for the ones that don't have a little bit of a sneak preview, I mean, you and Kevem Felipe previously had been kind of scheduled to go at it the previous time out over there at A1 Combat on the 17th of May, and then also in that March card, but just things weren't able to formulate. Can you kind of give the fans a peek into what exactly how it was going on your side of things?
Well, back in March, everything was going great, and then I got like sicker than I've ever been, and I tried to shake it, and it just got to the point where it was like, man, I got to let them know that way he's got time to find a fill in, and I just got sick. It happens. It just happened to happen to me that time, so I had to pull out of that one. They got replacement, and then we were supposed to fight again in May, and I thought all that was good, and then I think he took a different fight. I don't know. I'm not going to say what caused that. I don't know, but we were supposed to fight, and then we didn't fight. He took a fight in Dragon House or something like that, and here we are. So we just booked this one.
How are you feeling going into this battle? I know both of you gentlemen have kind of shared a little bit of words back and forth in the times that you have gotten to speak.
Yeah,
so
I mean, back when I got sick, he did send which I get it. Like your fight falls through, you mad probably. He did send some stuff on Instagram talking about I was afraid, and it's like, dude, like you're first of all, like you haven't. Well, I'm afraid of you. Like, look at my record. You know, like I've fought tough guys before. It's more than likely that I just got sick. I'm not afraid to fight you, dude. I've been a black belt longer than you've been training, so whatever, you know. Other than that, I haven't heard anything from him, which is fine too. I actually prefer that. I don't really like to get into the shit talking nonsense, dude. So I got reps to get in.
Yeah, a man on a plan. Yeah, it definitely seems like you aren't one for the crap talking. So I definitely was very excited.
I don't have time for it, man. Like I left home a long time ago at West Virginia. I got a one-way ticket out here with a little bit of cash in my pocket to come to the West Coast and try to make this thing happen. And I haven't quit. So I'm still trying to make it. So no, I don't have time for stuff like that, dude. You know what I mean? I could spend time talking shit on Instagram, or I can go for a run. You know, which one of those two things is gonna move me ahead? That's what I'm picking.
So can you kind of give fans, was the original plan to just, I mean, like how you said, just one-way ticket? I mean, that's kind of a lot of fighters' dream, is to be able to come over here to the state of California, plenty of gyms, and like how you said, you're in a state like West Virginia. So was that kind of the original plan?
No, it wasn't the original plan. I actually, I was training in Cincinnati for a while with some people, and then they were from here. It was Zoila and Stephanie Frosto. And everybody kind of went their separate ways. And I was back in West Virginia, and they hit me up sometime then and asked me to come out and help them get ready for their fights. And I didn't really have a lot going on anyway, so it was like it's time to roll up and go take another swing at it. And that was it. I mean, I got out here, we did that, and then they ended up talking me into staying. So that's that, you know what I mean? I went back home for a little bit, but then I've been here, shit, man, since 2016, I think. 2017 full time, and yeah, for other people, if they're listening that want to do something like that, you need to understand that it's the idea that, like you mentioned, that everybody does dream about doing that, but it's like when you put that into action, you need to understand that there's a lot of sacrifices that you're going to have to do to make it happen. It ain't cheap to live here. you know, it's not an easy thing, but if you feel like that's what needs to happen, then you need to figure out a way to make it happen.
Besides from price, what would you feel like was the biggest adjustment moving over here to California?
Just leaving my family behind. I don't have any. All my family is East Coast, Florida. West Virginia. That's probably the hardest part. But where I'm from, it's like, we have a great jiu-jitsu gym, a boxing gym. Where I started, but it's like you can't. If you want to make something big happen, you got to make big sacrifices. And getting out here to where more of that's going on is what's made me stay.
Over there at the Resistance FC in Pleasanton, California, I believe, correct?
Yeah, I train there mostly. I also am up at Team Santos, John Santos gym in San Ramon, do some jiu-jitsu, bounce around at a few spots, just wherever I can get the good rounds in. That's where I'll be.
Yeah, the Resistance FC has brought some guys over there to that pro level as well, I believe. Can you kind of, was that like, I know you were saying it wasn't the original plan, you didn't have everything mapped out, like, oh, I'm going to go train at this gym and everything, but how exactly did everything come about with the gyms that you're training at now?
Well, that one, man, we opened that one up back, sorry, I'm switching my stretch here. We opened that one back up during COVID. And it was just a group of guys I was training with at another gym decided that they wanted to, just get their own thing going. And I went over there with them, help get that moving. And they really got a great thing going, man. There's people in there, they're getting better fast. They're training hard, smart, and you just get good rounds.
It's a promotion. It's a gym that I've seen definitely on the rise, especially just over here in the California area, being around. I've seen the logo. So definitely wanted to ask you a little bit of questions about that. But speaking a little bit more about your actual fighting career, I mean, we haven't even really dived too deeply into your last couple of fights. Back there in 2023, you were able to get a first round knockout over there. And then, I mean, gained another finish in the first round within that minute over there in 2022. How are you feeling being able to get back in the cage after, I mean, what was a couple of pretty quick wins in the previous couple of years? Now in 2024, everything's hopefully to look to be a great main event over there on Saturday night.
I mean, the quick wins are like, if you go through my record there, man, that's I think I have 13 or 14 first round wins. So I have a lot of quick wins. The one thing I would like to do is be able to get more fights. Like, it's been a year, and then before that's been, so as far as the quick wins goes, like I train for that. Like, it's not like I'm in there looking for that, but like when the bell rings, the feeling out process is over. Like, let's get to work,
And it's something that I feel like you and both Kevem both bring to the cage. Was that something that you were pretty excited about when you were going to sign the dotted line and getting to watch maybe a little bit of film on him and being like, hey, like both of us are looking to go in there for the kill? Does that kind of get you a little bit more hyped going into the 20th?
I don't care what he or whoever. Well, it was more like, I just want somebody, and I prefer somebody that's got a winning record because I'm trying to move up. You know what I mean? It could be him. It could be somebody. It doesn't really. I don't care what he wants to try to do or what style. I mean, just having a fight for me is exciting. It could be anybody, and that's really how I feel about it.
I love that mindset too, because I feel oftentimes guys are looking to go in there and they're like, oh, I want the perfect dance partner. And it's not always about having the perfect dance partner. Sometimes it's just about going in there and laying it all loose. And you're someone that's definitely gone in the cage and done that. And I mean, you were very much on your way. You felt like to kind of a UFC pathway. I mean, you're profile was even uploaded there to the UFC.com site. Can you kind of guide the fans through that and what exactly?
That was a tough one, dude. That was a tough thing to have had because it's not like I started this last year. You know, I mean, I've been chasing this thing for going on 2 decades now. So I come off that win over Doug, first round knockout, and then like 2 days later, I get word that my name's been added to the roster. So I'm thinking, like, finally, we made it. You know what I mean? I really thought that's what it was, but I never heard anything from anybody. So I was thinking maybe I'll just stay ready and get on Contender Series. I just was thinking that moment had come, and I was just like, every week it was like, okay, today I'm getting an email. You know what I mean? And I still don't know why it's on there. I haven't heard anything, but it's not nothing.
It means your names are definitely in some pretty high up discussions, and with the win here, with the win here at A1 Combat 22, previous A1 middleweight champion. I know you're fighting at that super middleweight fight, but previous middleweight champion Henderson Ferreira also over there, kind of on the steps of bringing in a contract over there for the UFC.
If I get that super middle this weekend, then if that guy's ready next time, if we have to, he can get it too. But I'm hoping that this is my 6th title fight in a row. Won 2, lost 1, won 2 other ones, 2 different weight classes, 3 different promotions. I really feel like if I get this title this weekend, I don't know what else to do to get moved up after that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just keep getting belts. I mean, that's all I got so far, but so that'll be 3 in a row. So we'll see, you know.
Yeah. And can you kind of guide fans through that? Because I don't feel like there's often too many guys that are in that spot, you know, where it's like, well, do I just take another title fight, or do I take, like, can you kind of guide fans through the steps that it's, because I feel like oftentimes, you know, you see guys get that Dana White Contender Series contract, or you see them get that UFC contract, and they don't really oftentimes know, like, how much guys are really doing to get to that stage. So can you kind of guide fans through what your experience has really been like, and what you feel like exactly, like, you know, like how you're able to approach fights, maybe in the sense of, all right, this is a championship fight. Does it take more importance? Because I feel like there's so many factors that go into getting locked in that cage.
Really, I mean, the way I go about it might be a little unorthodox. I just try to get fights. Like, I have some people ask around for me, and I have my record is what it is. I feel like I have a pretty clean record for someone that's not, you know, that I'm relatively a nobody in the big picture. But I have a dangerous record, and I feel like it's dangerous for anybody. I have wins over, I mean, fuck, man, I beat Jack Hermanson in the first round. It's a while ago, but there's not very many people that's done that. You know, there's a heavyweight in the UFC right now, Carl Williams. He's undefeated in the UFC. I'm his only loss. So my approach to it is I'll reach out to people and I'll be like, do you have any middleweights? And then if they say yes, I'll be like, do you have a middleweight title? And I'm like, I just try to fight for titles, dude. I don't know what else to do.
No, and that's where I feel like a lot of fans don't understand the real, like, life of a regional MMA guy. Because, I mean, you have the guys in the amateur scenes and you have the guys starting off really, but when a guy's like in your spot, or a guy's right at that kind of Contender Series or right at that UFC level, it's just, and not only is it so much more difficult for you guys to find fights, but it's just so much more difficult for you guys to be like, and not, I don't want to say finding that purpose, but it's really just finding that want to go in that cage and be like, hey, like, this gonna get me in, you know, or even getting that thought out of your head, you know.
It is like, so for a long time, that's a good way to put it. It's I was thinking about fights like that, like, just gotta, but it's like the truth of it is, like, what you really got to do is, like, make the most of that moment that you have right now. It's like, yeah, I want to go to the UFC, but don't get me wrong, I'm not looking past Kevem Felipe, no matter what I think about that fight. You know what I mean? I think I'm capable of going in there and getting him out of there quick looking like he shouldn't even been there to begin with. But anything can happen. You know what I mean? I'm not looking past that. I do want to go to the UFC, but for these last, like, since probably 2021, when I had a long layoff and then I came back to that fight, it was like, I got to win this fight or I'm done. And I started thinking about it in that regard, where it's like every one of these fights could be the last one. You know what I mean? And whether I want to get to the UFC or not, I still need to win this fight. If I win this fight, it has to get me closer to that. I don't know if it means that I win this fight, I move on. I'd like to think that, but I'm not going to spend too much time and energy on, oh, if I get it, then like somebody owes me some. Nobody don't owe you anything. So that's why
I just love that mindset, man.
That's why my approach now is like, all right, I'm going to get this belt. I like to hope that I can move up and fight at a higher level. But if I don't, then I'm going to get another belt. And then I'll hope that moves me. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to go get another belt. And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
A man diligent in his path, and someone like me that watches all these fighters, you got to respect someone that's doing, I mean, like how you said, 20 years in the game, just been putting your all into it with some, I mean, I like how you said, some big wins over some guys that are already at that top level. I mean,
yeah,
a big win on Saturday, possibly putting you in the realm for a big conversation starter over there at the UFC War Room. But
yeah,
just a
let's
couple
hope.
last hey, just a couple of last questions here for you. I really
Sure.
appreciate your time today, Jason. But
Anytime.
I mean, who are some people that you wanted to thank in particular? I know we've been talking about obviously your career and a lot of things that have been going down and exactly your route to getting in the cage over here on the west side of the United States. Is there anybody that you wanted to thank in particular for your route into this fight against Kevem Felipe?
My mom, my brother, my sister, my Uncle Timmy, everybody at Ground Zero, TK, my boxing coach, Noah Kirk. I could keep going, man. But that if it really, a lot of everybody I train with, man. So I'm not really, I'm no greater than the sum of all my parts. And so that's like everyone that's helped, other people that try to not help, like everything has an effect. So I'm just kind of, give it up to God, and I'm just grateful for all of it, dude.
A journey that has definitely been well paved and well earned, and possibly looking to add another gold belt to that collection on July 20th.
I ain't saying that we just getting started. I ain't about to give that speech, but we still got a ways to go.
I love the mindset, my man. Well, that is going to do it for us over here at Michael Hernandez, MLH Media on the west side of the United States. And I mean, over here with my guy over there, originally from West Virginia, but now over there in the Bay Area, East Bay area, I guess to be particular.
That's
with
right.
my guy, Jason Butcher.